There's not a football team that I just mentioned to you that scares me if I'm Philadelphia. And I have those two things that I just told you about. You're the number one rush offense, and in the last 10 ball games, you've given up 18 or fewer points. Do you know what that means? Even in your losses, you're not getting killed. Welcome aboard this Tuesday. Isn't it the greatest time of the year right now? Talking playoffs. Your football team has punched their ticket. You're ready to rock. You got Cowboys this weekend. Absolutely sensational time. Absolutely sensational time. You guys have waited all year for this week. Cowboys, you want them again, don't you? I want him again. I want another shot at Ali, or what the media like to call the Dallas Cowboys. Now, I will ask the question to you. Are you a legit playoff contender? Are the Philadelphia Eagles a legit playoff contender? I say yes. I say the Philadelphia Eagles are the most frightening team that will go into the NFC playoffs, and I'm going to tell you why. You had the number one rush offense in the league. That's called dominating. That's called I own you. That's called you can't stop us. You know what the other component is? Because you have to have two to be a true contender, in my opinion, especially when you're going to be playing in some of the winter cities. Over the last 10 games, your Philadelphia Eagle defense has given up 18 or fewer points in those 10 games. Friends, you're the number one rushing attack, and you're not allowing people to score on you. Let all these other so-called prognosticators talk about the Rams, the Bucks, the Packers, all those Tiffany teams with those giant logos, those star quarterbacks. The Eagles are just a lunch pail team. You guys are a lunch pail team that shows up to work and has the components to kick anybody's ass. Yeah. Friends, you're legitimate. You are a legitimate playoff team because you have the two components that will scare any big-time team. Like the Buccaneers. Like the Packers. Wait a minute. You're telling me I have the number one rush offense in the NFL, and my defense has only given up 18 or fewer points in the last 10 ball games? That means I keep Aaron Rodgers' ass on the sidelines, or Tom Brady, or overrated Matthew Stafford? Don't let those people tell you you don't have a shot. You're the kind of football team that rolls into a place like Green Bay or goes down to Tampa and knocks them off. And then everybody come Monday will do this. How the hell did that happen? It's because you haven't been watching them. You are a legitimate playoff team, but I have to throw this in there. This is going to be a tough one for you. The Eagles have been ravaged with COVID, right? Most of these 12 players most likely will play this Saturday against the Cowboys. Should you sit them? Should you sit your starters? Should you think about getting those guys healthy for whoever it is in the opening round? Should you sit them? Should you play your backup? Should you play Gardner Minshew? I don't think you should. This football team needs all the experience that it can possibly get, including the quarterback. Okay? I'm not suggesting if you're getting killed or you're up by a lot in the third quarter that you don't start yanking guys out. But this is not a football team that should let off the gas pedal. Stay on the gas pedal. Drive it home. Run through the tape. I hate people that get right to the tape and then back off. And what happens usually in the opening round? You see a team upset. I don't like teams that lay off the gas pedal. Do not lay off the gas pedal. Do not sit players if you can't, okay? Do not. You guys are legitimate because you have the two components, but COVID is going to play a factor this weekend. What should you do? By the way, you guys were awesome yesterday. Thank you so much with the like button. Please hit it. You know how this baby works here, folks. You become part of the content. We go back and forth. You guys over on my Twitter page have been awesome at Dan Sileo Show. I thank you so much. By the way, hour 2, Chris Sims. Looks like Chris is going to take a mulligan on Jalen Hurts. I think he believes. We're going to talk to the NBC NFL Sunday Night Football expert. That'll be in hour number 2. Omar says, play it like a third preseason game. Big Chris says, if Hurts' ankle isn't 100%, start Minshew. Timothy says, I see your point, but I don't agree, okay? Danny says we can't sit players and look scared of Dallas. I don't think it looks like you're scared of Dallas. I just think it's sitting players. DeShante says, yes, sir, Carl. Andy Reid like to sit his starters. And I think that's why sometimes they went into the postseason not hitting on all cylinders. Timothy says, I guarantee they sit the starters. Really? Cole says, Sims is an expert? Really? Cole says, sit them. Omar, start the starters for the first quarter. Got to get out of that slow start. That's a great comment, Omar. Dude, you don't want to sit guys when you're struggling getting out of the gate like you have against Washington in the 2 games we played against them. You can't be spotting good teams in the postseason. You got to keep that gas pedal floored now. You got it going on, man. You've got it going on. Why let off now? Alabama bodybuilder says this. It gives a mental edge. It's important that they stay sharp. Amen. Smile says, how about Tomlin? We'll talk a little bit about Big Ben and where his place in NFL history is. Mike Tomlin, 15 years now, no losing record. What an incredible mark. What an incredible mark. Kyle says, I say player starters until halftime, especially if Dallas is playing their starters. Hey, I like that, Kyle. Mirror what Dallas is doing. Remember something. Dallas is playing for seeding right now. Anthony says you got to sit Miles. Yeah, I'm not playing Miles Sanders in the final game against Dallas. I'm going to give that guy as much rest as I possibly can, and I'm going to put that guy out there, whatever health he is, for the opening round of the postseason. He's playing, but he ain't playing this weekend. Smile says McMullen thinks the Eagles are gaming the COVID system this week, so they are available for playoff game. Okay. I don't like sitting guys. I'm not a fan of sitting them. Okay, I'm not. I don't like sitting players. You've got to have momentum. And the one thing that the Philadelphia Eagle offense has struggled all year long with is getting out the slow starts. Can't have it, man. East Canham, I'm 50-50 with sitting players. I just don't want injuries, absolutely. NFC East Beast, give me Tomlin every day and twice on Sundays. He's a freaking hell of a coach. I mean it, man. Hey, by the way, Big Chris, if Dallas sits their guys, I want to go out and beat the shit out of them. I want to beat Dallas up. And I don't want to hear this come Monday. Well, we sat ours. So what? That's not our issue. That's your issue. That's a Dallas issue. That's a Dallas issue. You may have to play those guys in the opening round, depending on how the playoffs settle after this weekend. So you really want to sit players against Dallas when you may have to play them in the opening round of the playoffs? Not me. If I know that there's a potential I have to fight that fighter again the following week, you want me to sit my guys so that you have a psychological edge on me after we went out there and we just flopped around? No way. Hey, and by the way, the Philadelphia Eagle fans deserve your best effort after that shit that happened last year when they sat their guys in the final game at home. You deserve better. That was a train wreck last year. Sitting guys for the second year in a row in your final week is a train wreck. I don't need it. Big Pickett says, hungry dogs run fast. Absolutely, man. Sammy says, repost that, Sammy. Timothy, the game is meaningless for the Eagles. A guy ran all the possibility playoff scenarios. Search ESPN playoff machine. Almost all scenarios lead to Tampa. Okay, that leads me to another topic I have here. Who would you like to see as the opening round game for the Eagles? What's the best matchup for us? Arizona, Dallas, Rams, Buccaneers. Sammy says, looks like it's going to be the Bucs. I want the Bucs. I want the Rams. I want the Packers. I want Dallas. I want Arizona. There's not a football team that I just mentioned to you that scares me if I'm Philadelphia. And I have those two things that I just told you about. You're the number one rush offense, and in the last 10 ball games, you've given up 18 or fewer points. Do you know what that means? Even in your losses, you're not getting killed. That means every single game you're in. Vesely says Rams are the best for the Eagles. They can't stop the run. I'm with you on that, man. I'd love to play because I don't buy Matthew Stafford. Hey, you know what? Okay, you know what, dude? You're right. I don't give a shit who you put in front of me. You could put Godzilla in front of me. I don't care who it is. That's right, Mike. You know what? I don't care either, man. Line them up. Let's go play 60, right? Who gives a shit, man? Let's go play 60. But you have to wonder. Here's my only issue with the sitting of the players this weekend. And Damon, you're right. He's a turnover machine. Guys, here's the one thing, though, man. How much is Howie Roseman going to get in the way of preparing for this weekend and then beyond? Bro, sit back. You've done your job. You built a roster that got him to the postseason. You hired the coach. You hired the assistants. You believed in Jalen. Let the guys do their jobs now. Get out of the way. That's Howie Roseman's biggest problem. Do you know that, guys? Is that he can't get out of his own way. That's Jerry Jones's problem. He can't get out of his own way. When you're having success, they get in the way more. Instead of backing up and getting out of the way, they get and they put speed bumps in front of you. That's right. Get out of the way. Peter says Gannon can't play soft against any of those quarterbacks. Absolutely. Dude, some of those disguises that he doesn't throw out there in his defensive packages, man, it's too predictable. Seth Joyner and I keep saying it on Twitter. And I'm so happy Seth follows me now because that means If you guys follow me, you're listening and watching what Seth is playing too when we're talking about Eagle football on game day. And we're saying the same thing, man. You just can't be that soft in your zone coverages. You just can't be that. You can't be. And by the way, I do not want Howie Roseman in the way of these next 2 weeks. I want to throw something else at you here, too, with Jalen Hurts here. Do you know that Jalen Hurts is now the 7th quarterback in pro football history to throw for 3,000 yards and rush for 750 yards in one season? This is his first year starting. When you start to dissect those numbers like that, and then you add the intangibles that he brings to a team, I'm telling you, man, Jalen Hurts has had maybe one of the best years for a young quarterback in the league. And do you know that he's a couple months younger than Carson Wentz? I think he's 3 months younger than Carson Wentz, if I'm not mistaken. He'll be one of the youngest quarterbacks, if not the youngest quarterback in the history of the Eagles starting a playoff game. That's right, big picking, Lamar-like. Lamar-like. Okay? Hurts is 23. Crazy. Yeah, he was 18 years old, if I'm not mistaken. Is that right, Xander? He was like 18 years old, right? When he got into – yeah, Xander, I meant when Wentz got into the playoffs, when he was the Eagle quarterback. He was like 18 years old, I think it was, Jalen Hurts. He'll be the youngest. Yeah, not currently. Wentz is 29 years of age. I got that. Jalen Hurts is 23 years old. I believe he's your youngest quarterback in team franchise history to start a playoff game. Younger than McNabb. Crazy. Crazy. Stu, 18 years old as a freshman in college at Alabama. Think about that for a minute. And he was the SEC Player of the Year. Right? You got a guy here with 3,000 passing yards and 750 yards rushing. That's incredible. Okay? And like everybody has said, he's a tough guy. He's improved his game to be a Pro Bowl alternate. Okay? Sammy says before McNabb got fatter and stopped running. Yeah, too many hoagies, huh? Wick says you always have to have a solid backup with Hurts if he's going to be your starter. If there's one thing, Wick, that we've learned this year about the backup quarterback, it's that he is so instrumental in a team's success that one game or another, you're going to have to sit your starter for whatever reason, COVID now, injury, hamstring, knee, ankle, whatever it is. You got to have a viable guy behind him. And the Eagles have one. They went up to the Meadowlands and won a game against the Jets with that guy. That's all you're looking for your backup quarterback, is to be able to pick up the mail when you can't go to the mailbox. I mean it, man. BF, that's awesome of you. Thank you so much, man. By the way, your tweets are spectacular over on my Twitter page, too. Oh, guys, do me a favor. Thank God, man. You know, Xander, my boy, man, he always makes sure that he's got Big Silz back. Please make sure you guys like the show. You killed it yesterday. Just absolutely killed it. Please like the show. John says, I keep saying this. I love this. I love his attitude, his serious nature. So together. Bro, it's really great to see how this team has galvanized itself. It really is. Okay? I mean, it's great to, isn't it great also to watch and see how this football team has grown throughout the year? Kyle says it's safe to buy a Hurts jersey. Think he's guaranteed our starting quarterback next season. Yes, sir. I said this yesterday, Kyle. Unless Russell Wilson's running out of that Lincoln Financial Tunnel next year, Jalen Hurts is my guy. Jalen Hurts is my guy. Alabama says Hurts battled Deshaun Watson in the national championship game. There's no moment bigger. Man, no moment is too big for him. Even when the fans fall out of the stands at FedEx. That was pretty cool, man. Started taking, pictures with people, checking them out, making sure they're all good. I thought that was fantastic. It looks like he's a fantastic human being, too, doesn't it? Now says Jalen gets no respect for his growth, but all the other young quarterbacks do. Yeah, because you know why? They're all first-rounders. First-rounders get all the love, man. But I want to show you something. That's a great point. That Jalen doesn't get all the love? Watch this. Think about the quarterbacks who are the most successful guys in the league. There's very few Peyton Mannings. Let me show you something here. Montana, Brady, Russell Wilson, Kurt Warner. These guys that had to fight their ass off to become somebody in the league. Lower drafted guys in the first round. Lamar Jackson, he didn't get a lot of respect when he came out. Shit, there were people in the NFL that wanted him to play a different position. Right? Tom Telesco, who I love and have great respect for, wanted him to run receiver routes. He said, I don't think so. Eric says Hurts will be put in the work. Hurts will put into work to max his potential. That doesn't get mentioned at all. Eric, you're right. Because you know why? Eric, you know why that doesn't – Eric, do you know why that doesn't get mentioned? You don't get credit for not robbing a bank. That's like thanking a fish for swimming. You're at the NFL level, friend. You don't get credit for stuff like that. It's expected. That's like thanking you for getting up off your ass every day, going to work and putting food in your refrigerator and keeping your lights on. You don't get credit for that. That's something that's expected of you. Same thing in professional sports. You don't get credit for the obvious. Showing up to work, studying, working out, being in shape. You don't get credit for that. That's a given. Hey, is it easy for all those same guys to do all that? I get what you're saying. I totally understand what you're saying here. Okay? However, bottom line is you don't get credit for that. Well, he shows up on time. So, well, he's in shape. And, it takes no athleticism to be in shape. I tell my daughter this every time. Do you know how hard it is for other athletes to stay in shape? Because when the lights aren't on you, champions are made then. When no one's watching you, that's when champions are made. Not when the lights are on you. That's a result of your hard work. Guy works hard. I don't give people pats on the back for that. Eagle says that's why Hurts needs to play this week. Use this stage to show the world, hey, I don't believe in letting off the gas pedal. Okay? I don't believe it. Philip says, who are your 5 free agent targets that you like to see signed? Cap space dependent. You're going to have $50 million in cap space, at least minimum. We'll get more into that as we conclude the postseason here, because I think free agency will be a major part of the Eagles' growth here. Paul says, I ain't sitting anybody. That's right. Nasty. With a young team, you need as many. Xander right there with nasty beats. That's right. If I had a 35-year-old average age team like the Buccaneers, I'm sitting everybody. If I can't have home field advantage and it's not a favorable matchup, I think the Bucs should sit everybody this weekend. I think the Bucs should sit everybody. Already home field advantage has been wrapped up by the Packers. Okay? Already wrapped up. Buccaneers need rest. They need bodies. They're banged up at the wideout position, running back position. Their old line's getting a little healthier. But the Buccaneers, they're tattered a little bit. Why is that? Well, look how deep they went last year. They went into the Super Bowl and won it. Don't think with an older team that hasn't played a factor in this year. Okay? There's no question about it that that's going to be a major debate in the Eagle front office right now. That's right, William. Kick-ass attitude. Let's get it going, man. Not sitting fucking anybody. Not sitting anybody. Xander responding to Old Cole. If he gets bounced, I still think he earned it. Absolutely, man. Guys, you're playing with house money. You're playing with house money. He's an alternate. You have a winning season. Man, hey, look, there's a part of me that likes the fact that you guys want more. I love that fact, okay? I really do. Noodles, how you doing, bro? Okay? We need Jason Kelce contract extension as soon as possible. That's if he wants it. What's he in his 11th or 12th year now? Hey, man, them old tired legs. He had such a great year this year. My opinion, I believe he should be the Pro Bowler. Tell Sims, Eagle fans remember his ranking on Jalen Hurts, 44 in the league. Believe me, I know. I already know, okay? Hey, I can't wait to get Chris Sims on. That'll be in hour number 2, by the way. Timothy says some fans still think Hurts hasn't done enough this year. Come on, man. No. Timothy, Baker Mayfield hasn't done enough this year. Okay? Baker Mayfield hasn't done enough. Jared Goff hasn't done enough. Guys like that haven't done enough. Okay? Baker Mayfield's a number 1 overall selection in the NFL draft. He hasn't done enough. Big Pickett says Baker's in trouble. Yeah, because you know why? He's an excuse machine. Well, I'm injured now. Yeah, whatever, guy. You've thrown the most picks since you've been in the league. You have one of the top rosters in the league, and you failed this year. 3 of the 4 years that you've been the starting quarterback in Cleveland, you've had a losing record. I don't give a shit what you've done last year. Means nothing. Ask Doug Peterson that. Isn't that funny? Everyone wants to fall back with Baker Mayfield as an excuse for him. Well, look what he did last year. Doug Peterson won a Super Bowl and the Eagles fired his ass. Damon, you're right. Mayfield is a bum. We're going to talk a little bit more about him and Big Ben. Big Ben closed it up last night, too. Okay? Nasty beats. Baker Mayfield is a sober Johnny Manziel. Holy cow, man. So sitting the starters, are we all in agreement? Because the team is so young, we have to keep playing as much as we possibly can here. Guys, this football team needs the reps. What if you have to play Dallas in the opening round? You know what I'm saying? No way. Paul says, how about Clutch Wentz? Dude, they're sitting in the 7-hole right now, the Indianapolis Colts. I don't know. I think that he came through for them this year too. Paul says, keep rolling. Lou says, yes. We're playing with house money. Philly 559. Absolutely, man. Hugh, I'm with you, man. I hate stopping momentum. Kivo says, if the Eagles brass doesn't appreciate Hurts and looks elsewhere for a quarterback, Hurts is going to Pittsburgh, and he'll be a winner there. Wow, Jalen Hurts with Mike Tomlin and the Steelers. Jesus Christ, he'd be Steve McNair there. With that organization, with Kevin Colbert and how they do things, Jalen Hurts in Pittsburgh would be amazing. Jalen Hurts in Philadelphia is amazing. We just haven't completely accepted it yet. You know why? Here, Jalen really sent a letter to the Washington team asking them what they're going to do to correct the tunnel collapse. I like it. Yeah, sell the team. You know what's happened, folks? You know why people are having issues with Jalen? You feel you're settling. You feel you're settling. Because when you see all these big arm guys you feel you're settling for something less, don't you, a little bit? Even though the numbers I quoted you, you're like, wow, man. Wow. He really has put all this together? 9-7? Alternate to the Pro Bowl? He's going to be the Pro Bowl quarterback this year? As I said, Aaron Rodgers and Tom Brady, they're not going. You just haven't accepted it because you think you're settling. The kid's done everything. You can't, hey, asking him to go and win a couple playoff games now would be amazing. It would be utterly amazing, okay? By the way, I want to ask you some questions on Big Ben. Eagles and Cowboys, I want to hit on that. Please, guys, do me a favor, hit the like button. You guys are spectacular, man. Don't forget, Chris Sims, hour number 2. I know. Don't worry. Big Silz will call him out on it if he wants that mulligan back on saying that he was in the 40s, Jalen Hurts, at the beginning of the year. I know. Keep it right here on the National Football Show.